Hi, my name is Derek. For those that don't know me, I'm a certified music teacher. And in this video, I want to give you an introduction to music theory and how to read music notation, how to read notes. So what is music theory? Music theory is how music works, essentially. And when playing the guitar, playing music, if you know how the system works, things aren't going to be so abstract. Everything is going to be more black and white. It's going to make a lot more sense, and things are just going to be easier to play. Now, music notation, how to read music, is a visual representation of music theory. So if you're learning how to read music, you're learning music theory. And learning music notation, in my opinion, is the best way to learn music theory. So I want to mention before getting into the page that I have on the right side that it's important to have an understanding of technique. So your left hand, your right hand, posture, etc. Now, I have a few videos on my YouTube channel addressing technique. They are some older videos, so check those out. Or if there's some other videos that you want to check out from another YouTuber or another guitarist, feel free to do that. Okay, so let's jump into it. On the right side, we have a PDF file that I created. The title, Open Strings Exercise, Learning How to Read Notation. Composer, arranger is Derek Valenciano, yours truly. And we have a lot of things happening here. And you might be familiar with some, or you might not be familiar with any of it. So I'm going to break it down, and hopefully after this video, you're going to be able to understand it all. It's important that we start from the very beginning, the ground up, because if you want to learn the more difficult things, you have to have an understanding of the basics. So we have a bunch of horizontal lines that run across the page here. We have a set over here, another one over here, and another one over here. Now these lines that run across are called a staff. Whoops, staff, like this. Now, as you can see, we have 3 staffs, but actually when we talk about them in plural form, we refer to them as staves. So we have 3 staves, 3 staffs. Doesn't really matter, so we have 3 staffs. And a staff consists of 5 black lines. So if we look carefully, we can see that we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 black lines, and we have 1, 2, 3, 4 white spaces. Now a staff is where the notes go. So a note can be low, like we have here, or it can be high on the staff. So we have some lower notes. The notes are these circles we have here. And we actually have some notes that are below the staff. These notes have additional lines. This one in particular has 1, 2, 3 additional lines, and it's underneath that line. And this one has 1, 2 lines, and it's on that second line below the staff. Now, these additional lines, they're called ledger lines. Whoops, ledger lines. Now, ledger lines are for notes that are too low to fit on the staff, or they're too high to fit on the staff. So we can actually even have some ledger lines like this, for example, and we might have a note above it like that. Okay. Now, what is important here is that we have to see where the note is in relation to the staff. So some notes can be on a line. For example, this one. Notice that it's on the second line of the staff. 1, 2. Or it could be in a space on the staff. This note over here, for instance, is 1, 2, 3, 4 spaces. It's on the 4th space of the staff. So we have to know that, or we have to identify that if we want to properly identify what the note is. And these notes over here have the ledger lines, and this note is 1, 2, 3 ledger lines, and below that bottom ledger line. This note is on that second ledger line. So now that we see where the notes are in relation to the staff, we can properly identify the notes. So this is where it's gonna take a little bit of memorization, and with repetition, with practice, it's gonna become second nature. So I see that this note over here has 3 ledger lines, and it's underneath that 3rd ledger line. That note is an E, and I have that memorized, and it's your job to memorize that as well. This note, 2 ledger lines on that 2nd ledger line, this is an A. This note underneath the staff is a D. 2nd line of the staff, 1, 2, a G. This is on the 3rd line, or the middle of the staff, we have a B. And over here we have the 4th space, 1, 2, 3, 4th space, 4th white space of the staff, we have an E. Boom. So again, take the time to memorize these notes. If I didn't write down the note letter, you want to have that ability to identify it. So now that we've identified those note letter names, we have to identify where they are on the guitar. So this is where it takes some memorization as well. So this first note over here, this E, is our low E. It's our low E, and it's located on the 6th string. Now the 6th string is the lowest string on the guitar. It's the thickest string. Now I'm just going to pluck that. And just like reading a book, you're reading it left to right. The next note is an A. The A is the 5th string, and it's played open. So when I say open, that means I'm not using my left hand, I'm just playing the strings with my right hand. So we have our E open, our low E open, our A open, our D is the 4th string open, G is our 3rd string open, B our 2nd string, and our E is our 1st string. Boom. And just like that, you're reading music. So make sure you have your guitar with me as we're going through this, and you're trying this out for yourselves. You're reading left to right, E, 6th string, A, 5th string, D, 4, G, 3, B, 2nd, and E, the 1st string. And I'm just going to write that out. So that E is that 6th string, A, 5, D, 4, G, 3, B, 2, E, and 1. So if I take the things I've written out, see if you can still play the correct notes. So I'm going left to right, E, A, D, G, B, E. Now in the description below, I have a link to my website, and I have this PDF which you can download for free. So download that file. Make sure you can do this comfortably, that you have a good feel for it, and get those repetitions. Because from those repetitions, you're getting better and better. This is how you learn. Okay, so there's a few things I'd like to point out. I'm not going to go in depth about it, but this symbol over here is called a clef. And this symbol over here, the 4/4, is a time signature. And I'm going to go more in depth about what these things are in future videos. But for now, this is it. So that's about it for this video. In the next video, I'll be talking about what is happening here on the bottom of the page, or the middle staff, and the bottom staff over here. So make sure you hit that like button, subscribe, and if there's something that I didn't explain very clearly, or if you have any questions, leave those questions in the comment section below. Thank you very much, and God bless.